Well, hello everybody. It's me again, Nappy Star. And I just really wanted to take this time out to express my feelings today, and just really let you guys know why I decided to go natural in the first place. Well, I was never fortunate enough to experience my natural hair. My grandmother was a beautician. So whatever was out at that time was in our hair. So, I mean, when I was 5, I don't remember anything before then, but when I was 5, I had a jerry curl, yes, Lord, and it was long down my back. Oh, Lord. Anyway, my hair, I didn't experience too much breaking with the jerry curl, but again, I was 5. I don't remember. But what I do remember, sitting in the beauty shop, we had to be there anyway, but the only, back then, I'm 25 now, so back then, I never seen anybody with natural hair, so I didn't know anything about it. My mom had a perm, my grandma had a perm, when their hair fell out, they didn't complain, and blame it on the perm. They always said, well, I have bad hair. And now when I look back, I think that the perm was making people think, or making us think we have bad hair, and it's not our hair. It's the perm. My hair is so soft, and Lord Jesus, I didn't think it would be like this. I love my hair, God. And I know my husband is tired of me saying that. I love my hair. It's so soft, and I used to think that it was kinky, but anyway. Well, it is kinky, but I used to think it was horrible. Anyway, so when I was in middle school is when my grandma decided to take the perm away. Oh, just looking at my time anyway. Take the jerry curl away, So, I had a perm. I know y'all call it relaxed. I call it perm because I hated it. I hated it, and it burned my scalp, hurt, but I thought that was the only way because I thought that was all that was there. I didn't know that I didn't know it was alternative. I didn't know that you could go without the chemicals. I thought either you had to have a jerry curl, which I was tired of because it was dripping all down my shoulders, dripping all down my back, all on my pillow, everywhere. People at school hated it and picked on me, but hey, I had friends, but hey, jerry curl wasn't in. So I thought that I had to have the perm. I thought that was it. And when it was time for perm time, man, I used to hate it. I used to dread sitting in a chair, and I used to close my eyes and pray because I have very sensitive scalp, and I used to pray and meditate almost because it used to hurt. And my grandma was one of those type of people where you gonna sit there and take it. She don't care if you cry. And I was young. But anyway, but then when I got older, I hated the perm still. And I was from I'm from a small area, and so I never even seen anybody with natural hair until I moved to Georgia, where I am now. And my husband, it was one of his friends, girlfriend, and oh God, I was like, man, look at her hair. It's so pretty. I know it was, but yeah. So if you go without the perm, your hair's gonna fall out because hey, it's like crack, But anyway, so anyway, back like I was trying to say, in April, I decided not to get the perm, the relaxer, the cream crack. The bullshit that mess up these young ladies' hair. The bullshit that make people think their hair is bad. And it's the fucking chemicals. Excuse my French. I was just really thinking about this today at work, and it just pissed me off how these people put this shit in a dark and lovely container when it ain't doing nothing but fucking you up. You ain't gonna be dark and lovely. You gonna be black and bald headed. Calm down. Anyway, so and then I did the big chop one morning, and I was trying to transition. To all the sisters out here that go and do the transition, big ups. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't comb through it. I didn't know what to do, and I just thought it was easier to just cut it off shit. But and another thing, I cut it off because I didn't wanna have a bad day and put a perm back in it. But I just couldn't deal with the two textures or whatever. It was hard for me. So I just cut it off, and I was sitting in the bathroom, and I looked at it when it was wet, and I was like, I can't comb this. I'm gonna take this off. And so I just started cutting, and I had me a little bitty. I had about that much hair, no lie. And I went to the barbershop, and he, trimmed it up for me. And I went out to the grocery store because my friends was telling me, oh girl, that ain't gonna look right. What's wrong? You think you too good for a perm? Too good for a perm? You think you too good to go natural? Anyway, so I went to the store, and I was at the gas station, and this guy said, sister. And that was the first time a guy called me sister. Usually they be like shouted, or whatever. But he said sister. He said, I love your hair. He said, I love the natural look. That's what's happening. And he gave me the flat power fist or whatever, as he walked out the door. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And I was like, to the perm. Anyway, so that's about it. I just love my hair like this. For real. And to all the people out there, all the young ladies that are thinking about transitioning or thinking about doing the big chop, it's when you cut all that shit off that's dead. If I had anything to say, I'd just say, sister, do it. Cut all that shit off. Cut that perm stuff off, But it's not my decision, it's yours. And when you do it, when you do decide to transition into, to transition or do the big chop, when you do decide to go back to your natural state, just do it. Just do it. And you'll find you have so much strength. I mean, you feel so much better. It's so much easier to maintain. Ooh, one quick thing for my time run out. My husband always leave the shower on, right? When I had my perm, I used to hate getting in the shower after him because I know the shower, you cut the shower on and if you don't cut it off, when you turn the water on, the shower gonna wet your hair. Well, anyway. So, the other day, oh my God, I feel old. That was just last night. So last night, I cut the water on, and it just started streaming down in my head. And I didn't think nothing of it, because if your hair get wet when you got a perm, oh fuck, you just paid all that money to get that shit, to get that perm, and it's gonna be messed up. Well, I just got in the shower and I was like, okay. It didn't hit me what just happened. So I got out the shower. My husband was like, you ain't mad? And I was like, what you talking about? It's like, you ain't mad I left the shower on. He was like, my bad. And I was like, okay, you worry about it. We ain't got to worry about that no more. Because when the water hit it, it's already going to do what it's going to do. It's already curled up. But I just had to say that right quick before I leave. So, peace. Talk to you guys later. I got some really important health stuff I want to talk about next time because you guys know I'm a nurse. So I'll talk about that next time, just to educate sisters that don't know.